Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me today as we spend a few more minutes on how you can enhance your Microsoft shop with Micetro. Just a quick note, there is a Micetro free trial available to you right now. So if you're watching live, you can download, install, and follow along. If you're watching on demand, just give us a quick pause and go ahead and start that installation. But without further ado, let's jump right into our very short demo here today. So if you've been following along on our live sessions, you've seen me walk through things like RBAC with Active Directory or role-based access control with Active Directory integration, managing Microsoft DHCP servers and scopes, of course, and then diving into DNS with Active Directory integrated zones. So today we're going to kind of put some of those things together and how we can enhance your approval workflow for DNS. And therefore, again, kind of combining a lot of these things and seeing them in action in, how you might use it in a real world environment with several teams, maybe distributing some of these approval workflows, but still making it really simple and easy to use. So we're right here in DNS. What I'm going to do is just go ahead and create a new DNS zone. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to jump into my Active Directory integrated zones because this is a Microsoft demo. And then I'm going to jump into one of these zones. Now, when I double clicked on that zone, it immediately went to the server and it checked in real time that these are the up-to-date records that I have for this particular zone. So I can trust that this is real-time information. This is my single source of truth. If I need to create a new record, then let's say we're creating a new blog site and it'll be an A record and I'll give it a time to live and then I'll give it an IP address. Now you'll notice I typed in the first couple of octets here and it populated with several options for me to pick from, right? And I can see which ones are ranges and which ones are scopes. Obviously, I don't want to use a scope for something that's going to be a permanent IP address in this situation. So I'm going to go ahead and just pick one of these ranges. And it will then automatically assign me the next freely available IP address. Now, if I were to try and change it, let's say to .1, well, that's already been assigned, right? So I don't want to use that IP address. So we'll go with their earlier suggestion of .2. By they, I mean Micetro in this case. And now you'll see, and this is where we get to the approval workflow that I was talking about. So I have two options here because I'm in as an admin, right? Going back to RBAC, I have two options: create now or add to request. Now, if I weren't in as an admin, right? If I weren't in with the ability to do create now, I would only have add to request. So say I'm a developer or a DevOps person trying to bring a new service to market or bring it to maybe my dev or test environment, I can go ahead and click add to request. Oh, I do have to in our Men&Mice environment, we require that you put the owner name. This is up to you, right? If you want to require that or anything else, you can go ahead and put that in there. But now I will go ahead and add to request. Now, if I were a developer, I'm probably creating maybe a 3 or 6 tier application to go into my dev environment. I'm requesting IP addresses and DNS names for this environment, right? For this application in this environment. And I'm going to have to do that for every time I move from, let's say, dev to moving to test to moving to production, of course. So my 6 tier application all of a sudden needs 18 different DNS names and 18 different IP addresses. I am showing this example just with one DNS request, right? But obviously it can get quite complex and the approval workflow can become a bit of a bottleneck if we're doing all of this work manually, right? So luckily we have workflow built into our GUI as well as into the APIs if you want to use self-service to do this sort of thing, which is probably how we'll see this happen in the real world. Now, I clicked on my shopping cart and I see now the DNS request that I made as the developer, and I'm still in as a developer, and I can go in and bulk select which request that I want to submit. Click next. I can schedule the request if I like. I can put in a comment. This is for the new blog site, and I can click submit. Again, this will submit all of my requests at the same time. Now, I see an approve request dialog box here because I am as an admin. If I weren't, then I wouldn't see it. But for the sake of this demo, we'll click no. Now, as an approver, I'm Lauren, the approver now coming in, and I'm going to go ahead and click on this workflow option. And here I can see all of the pending requests that have been submitted by various teams, maybe through a self-service portal. And when I double click on that request, I can dive in, see a little bit more information. I can select all of the requests that I may or may not be approving or rejecting, and then go ahead and make my, decision. This already exists, maybe. So you'll notice that I'm commenting all the way through. And now I have the reason why I rejected it. I have the reason why it was submitted in the first place, making the workflows between teams much easier. And like I said, in the real world, you might be using more of a self-service portal to make this happen. You saw that I had built-in requirements during the process. So any information that is required that you want in your documentation for identification purposes or for further automation purposes or for security purposes, that can all be either required or optional in your workflow. And it's very easy to just go through and approve as necessary. That's all I had for today. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.